right, Bitcoin accumulation country. My name is Phil. This is the Fun with Bitcoin podcast. We are in season 3, and this is episode 17. Before we dive into today's interview, we are going to talk about my Bitcoin-only sponsor, Swan Bitcoin. As everybody knows, or may not know, they are a dollar cost averaging platform. They've got very competitive rates, and the three main takeaways are automatic purchase of BTC, the automatic withdrawal from a bank, and as well, you can also choose any wallet that you'd like it to go to. I actually signed up for it about 2 weeks ago, and every week I'm buying $50 worth of BTC. So it's absolutely fantastic. I definitely suggest that people who want to be able to purchase BTC without having to always go and check the price, and you just want to make it easy for yourself, take a look at Swan Bitcoin's dollar cost average platform. It may work for you. Now to the pod. So today I've got a really interesting interview with Frederico Spitaleri. He is the CEO and creator of Censorship. Some people may know him specifically for the game Lightnite. Anyways, I had a really cool conversation with him. That game looks absolutely amazing, and I think that one thing I really liked about it was specifically he has this idea for an advertising platform within the game, which I just totally find I just find it fascinating, and I think it's going to help this game grow legs, so to speak. Anyways, I'm not going to bore you guys too much with my rhetoric. Without further ado, here is my interview with Frederico Spitaleri. Here with me, I've got the co-founder and CMO of a very interesting gaming project, a Lightning gaming project called Censorship. And with me joining is Frederico Spitaleri. I hope I pronounced that correctly, Frederico.
Yeah. It's
Cool.
correct.
So
Hi, guys.
Thank
Hi,
you.
everyone.
Thank you very much for joining me on my podcast. I really appreciate it. And
Thanks for the invite.
cool. So before we get into Censorship and what that's all about, I definitely want to know a little bit more about your rabbit hole story and how you before you got into Bitcoin and how you got into it.
Yeah. So, basically, I started hearing something about Bitcoin during university times. There were like some associations about new technologies, and they were organizing some meetups, and one of them was about Bitcoin. And I think it was around 2013, 2014, something like that. And basically, that's the time in which I started for the first time hearing talking about Bitcoin. And I didn't really go in depth at that time. But then some time ago, as the brand awareness of Bitcoin itself started growing up, and you started noticing people or articles talking about Bitcoin more frequently, then it's natural that you start going into it if you're passionate about new technologies. And then so I started reading about that, studying the protocol, how it works, and it was very very interesting, the fact that we were seeing for the first time in history a type of peer-to-peer electronic cash that was actually getting some popularity and value in the free market. And and we saw all the applications he started, all the problems he started solving, like for example allowing purchases in markets where basically certain products are banned, or for example helping associations like WikiLeaks to receive funds when their bank accounts are blocked. And that was very powerful, but it has always been more like study, so studying about that, because you cannot really, if you're not like great at coding, and you have a great knowledge of Bitcoin on the technical side, it's very difficult to provide your contribution, because the only way is like working on the protocol. And then Lightning was born, in 2000 and 18. It was launched in on mainnet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If I'm not wrong, yeah, I think it's correct.
That's right.
And basically, uh, what allowed the Lightning Network was a new wave of applications, and so people could start working on Bitcoin applications, but not at the protocol level. So it was much more inclusive community, and it was easier to work in this space, not having to work on the protocol but on another layer. And so how I got into Lightning was, as soon as they launched Lightning on mainnet, I said, oh wow, so we can transfer Bitcoin instantly at zero cost. It's something that we that I have to study more in depth. Absolutely. So I launched my own node. I started opening the first channels to other nodes on the network. And yeah, and then there was a meetup called the Lightning. No, it was called Lightning Hack Day. It was the second Lightning Hack Day in Berlin in 2018, and that was the first event I went to regarding Lightning Network. And there, what we did was basically, yeah, I went there, and I met my partner, which is Carlos, which is currently the CEO of the company, and we started working together from there, from that Lightning Hack Day, some months after the Lightning Network was launched on mainnet, and we started working Satoshi's games there.
That is really cool. Okay, so I want to go back though. So it sounds to me like you came from Bitcoin not necessarily from the sound money perspective, but from the technical perspective.
Um,
Like, or
Yeah, the thing is, at the beginning, I didn't know all the similarities that Bitcoin could have with sound money, because I mean, at that time, really few people knew what was Bitcoin, and if you heard about that for the first time, the first thing they were telling you, it was not the similarity to sound money. This is something people used to do now. At the beginning, I remember, at least when I started in that university environment, uh, people were not talking about sound money. They were talking about this money of the internet. And so, yeah, maybe also the fact that I was very interested in technology, except Bitcoin itself. So it was first a technological thing, but then when I started realizing what Bitcoin was for real, then of course it was for the monetary system. Yeah.
then all the pieces started to fit in.
Yeah.
I wanted to also ask you, because you mentioned that you ran a node. What do you remember what you ran back then? Because I think I had only started hearing about it, and I don't remember which ones were available except for, I believe, the Raspy Bolt
Mm.
from Staticus.
Yeah. No, allora, the first
Do you
time I
recall?
launched a node, yeah, yeah, the first time I launched a node, it was a desktop node with éclair.
Oh,
So
okay.
that one. And the problem with that is, I mean, unless you run your server on a cloud with a fixed IP, uh, that solution is not very very efficient and effective, because it means that every time you shut down your computer, the node is shut down, but the node has to be always connected. But it was the first time, just to launch a node, and and see what was the process. Then after the first node, I set up a Raspberry Blitz from Rootzol.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, and of course was a better option. And then from that, we switched within Satoshi's game to a node launched through BTC Pay server and Luna node cloud provider.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Very cool. That is that. You know what? I never ran an éclair node, and that's something I would like to run. All of mine are LND nodes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that
We use LND at Satoshi's games, but my first one was an éclair one. Yeah.
have you seen the my node yet?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Have you seen the my node?
No, no.
I'll send you the link to it. It's actually really cool. It's just like the Raspberry Blitz, and but there's there's an edition that you can pay for, and it comes with with like over 25 different apps on it, and it also comes with BTC Pay server and Whirlpool. Anyways, it's very cool. Yeah, it's a good one. I'll send you the link to it after.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Okay, so here let's dive into into Satoshi's games. So I went to go check it out. So you know what? Even before we start talking about some of the games, or I saw there's Lightnite, I believe it's called.
Yeah, that is our last game, which is currently under development. Yeah.
Okay, so let's back it up. Why did you choose the path of games?
Yeah.
To get into Bitcoin.
Yeah, basically, we knew what was the problem with games in terms of value exchange, in-game currencies, and this kind of topics. And the main problem was that basically that the economy within the game is is just a linear economy in which the player pays for getting some features and doesn't get paid back for his performances or skills or for the time he spends on the platform. And basically, this happened because the fiat system is not flexible. Is very difficult to make like fiat rewards or automatic fiat withdrawals or instant withdrawals of fiat. And then the other thing is that mm, we see many games today they have in-game currencies, but what happens is, okay, I buy this in-game currency, but in fact this in-game currency is just a credit, no? So I buy, for example, the V-Bucks in Fortnite, and then I can spend these V-Bucks within the game, and that's it. It's not that then I can transfer these V-Bucks to another game to spend it on another game, or even using them for 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 buying other stuff on the internet, on e-commerces, for example. And so we realized that with a Lightning network, it was possible to give rewards to the to the players, but also thanks to the divisibility feature that is allowed by the Lightning network, we can also give very small rewards. And so the first thing we did, it was, okay, let's just make that the gold within the game is actually digital gold and you can extract from the game. And because we all played Super Mario
Oh
as
yeah.
kids, yeah, but we collected so many coins, and in the end, these coins, what were these coins? You know, like
Yeah, we couldn't do anything with them.
yeah, exactly. So we thought, okay, let's say one coin is equal to one satoshi, and let's allow people to play the game and collect the coins, which are satoshi. So people were playing Super Mario and collecting the coins, which were actual Bitcoin. And when they were able to finish the game and save the princess Satoshi Nakamoto, they could actually withdraw the coins they collected in the various levels. And so that is the reason why we started using Bitcoin, because we realized, okay, we can make the in-game points worth something, and not only this, we can make that the game industry can use the Internet of Money as in-game currency, so that every game has a currency that is interoperable between the different games and different applications, and so that I can earn some money in this game, use it in another game, and then maybe just using it for buying something on some e-commerces and some shops online, or sell them for euros, or whatever. Um, so basically enabling a circular economy where I don't only pay to play, but I also get paid if I play good.
That's that's absolutely amazing. Um, so I how come you chose Lightning to do it, and um, not some other shitcoin? Because of course we see a lot of these other shitcoins that that have gaming incentives and whatnot. So why did you guys choose
Yeah.
Lightning and Bitcoin? Like, did you find any challenges with it, or?
Well, the reason why we choose the Bitcoin and Lightning Network is not one reason. It's actually multiple reasons. First of all, uh, we see that blockchain doesn't scale. And for example, if we all saw what happened with CryptoKitties, and with a minimum adoption, they made it crash the whole Ethereum network. In the sense that it was not operable anymore, because there were so many transactions, and the Ethereum network just stopped working properly, and
Yeah.
just for a single application. So how can we imagine to use this blockchain for creating applications, is if just one application relatively popular can make all the network stop working properly. And so yeah, so then this layer should appear, then, and it allows us to send microtransactions up to uh, 1 bitcoin divided 100 million times, uh, which is one satoshi, how much one satoshi is worth. And then instant transactions at zero cost transaction, and a very high scalability potential. We can make some estimates about how much Lightning Network can scale. And for example, considering that the transactions uh, happen off chain, you don't have to confirm on chain every transaction that happens between two people exchanging money. And this allows to not overload the blockchain, make the transactions off chain, and then validating the last balances on chain when we close a channel. So basically, if we do some benchmark observations, we can see that a Lightning channel can process around 500 transactions per second, looking at the current status of the network. And if we multiply this for the number of channels currently in the network, which is around 30,000 channels, we can see that the Lightning network can scale up to around 17,000 transactions per second, something like that, which is very good for mass adoption. Because if we uh, do games, we do that for the mass market. The gaming industry is huge, and we need a technology that allows millions of people to use this technology at the same time. And then the other thing is, people don't really care about earning so many thousands of shitcoins. I mean, they need to stack sats. They need to earn Bitcoin, because Mm, this is the most secure asset we have in the crypto space, and it's also the most valuable. Like if you look at the capitalization of Bitcoin, it is like increasingly high. Domination, market cap domination of Bitcoin now is surely up to or more than 60%. And the liquidity of the asset is a very important topic. So if I earn an asset within a game, I want it to be liquid, because then I can be able to sell it soon, fast, to someone that wants to buy it, for example. Or I can use it to pay someone else on the internet, because I know this is an asset that is accepted by other people. And so it's also a matter of network effect. So people have utility in using Bitcoin and not other shitcoins, because I get much more utility, because most of the users and most of the transactions, most of the value is exchanged on Bitcoin, and is actually Bitcoin. So people exchange so much Bitcoin every month. Like we can see the statistics on the network, and compare, like there are billions of USD dollars worth of transactions every day on the Bitcoin network. So that is why we use Bitcoin. We don't even have to matter about explaining people what a token is. Everyone knows what's Bitcoin.
Absolutely. No, that's fantastic. Because you always hear. I don't know if you went through this, but especially when I first got into Bitcoin, you'd always hear the shitcoin narrative that's like, oh well, you can't have a game pay out in Bitcoin or pay on Lightning. Oh, it's too difficult. It's too that. And in the end, you bump into a company like yours where you guys are doing exactly that, and obviously that makes me question. Okay, so so what the fuck? Like,
Mhm.
what the hell's wrong with these guys that they couldn't seem to do it, and they're saying that it's so tough, but in the meantime, it is being done. So,
Yeah, but
that's
also,
really cool.
yeah, I say you get the point, because that's the thing. And actually, I can tell you something else. We, we can say that these non-fungible tokens are kind of pointless, in the sense that, oh, okay, so you decentralize the token that represents the game asset. Cool, but listen, the server is centralized, so I can say on the blockchain, okay, there are only 100 tokens of this type, or there's only this token that represent this character in the game. So I exchange the token, and theoretically I should exchange the the game asset. But it's not really like that, because all this system relies on the server of the game company, which means uh, I say I have this token, which is this X character within the game, and there is only one. But then, if I create another token, and I make it that the server recognizes this token as the same character as the other token, then I have two different tokens that represents the same character within the game. So I just have to manipulate the server, and the rules changes. So we build something on blockchain that relies on a central server. It's kind of pointless.
Oh yeah.
Instead, if I can earn Bitcoin, I know Bitcoin is useful also outside the game. So I can just withdraw Bitcoin into my wallet, and then I know, okay, this is Bitcoin, so it's always useful. It's always variable. It doesn't depend on the game server, because I just withdraw the Bitcoin from the game to my wallet, and this is Bitcoin. So it's Bitcoin. I can use it for buying stuff.
That's fantastic. I really, anyways, I really like what you guys are doing. So, um, let's talk about the Lightnite game,
Yeah.
because so is that like a multiplayer or?
Yeah, so it's a battle royale game. Yes, it's multiplayer. So
Cool.
being a battle royale, you can have like many players playing at the same time and fighting between each other, and there will be like one winner. And yeah, so Right now, the game is under development, and the single player prototype is coming soon. And we have like a passionate community of supporters that pre-ordered the game already, and they are helping us shaping the product. So basically, the way we proceed is uh, we want to involve the community in the development of the game from the early stages. And now we are building the single player. The prototype will be is coming soon. And so we want the people to start testing it and provide feedbacks so that we can make the best game for them. And the idea is basically it's a battle royale that rewards you with Bitcoin. And this means you can find Bitcoin Easter eggs within the map. So you're playing your battle royale and you can see there are some Bitcoin hidden in the map, and many players will see it. So these economic incentives will activate some dynamics within the game that are related to an economic incentive, which is something that is new in the gaming industry. So I can make some examples. Imagine there are all the players playing on the map, on the playground, and suddenly some Bitcoin appears on the map, and you're gonna see people running to catch them, and people waiting hidden somewhere behind some stones, for example, just to try to kill all the people that try to get the prize. And then when everyone is killed, then go and catch it. So this is what we are doing. And in addition, we have different game modes, so people can play the battle royale and just have the the Bitcoin rewards in the game in the way I described with the Easter eggs. And if they collect the Bitcoin, they see their balance update, and what they can do is, oh, okay, so I got some Bitcoin in my balance. I can download a Blue Wallet, for example, and and withdraw the coins. So you instantly withdraw the Bitcoin into your wallet. Then there's an arena mode where basically you can wear some valuable items within the game, and you can exchange these items within players, and 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 then you can sell them and cash out the profits with lighting. So for example, you can buy in-game items on our shop, which is play.lightnite.io, and you can buy guns and characters, and you can decide to participate the arena mode and wear certain items, and you will be matched with people with the same rank and same value of the items that they are wearing. And so you put at risk your items, and if you kill another player and he dies, you can collect these items. And if you win the battle royale, you can go to the shop and sell all the items you were wearing plus the items you collected during the battle royale to other players on the shop that wants to buy your item. For these game modes, information about the game, how it works, and also to see the progresses month by month about what we are doing on Lightnite, you can check blog.lightnite.io, which is a website where we post all the articles about the game, the gameplay, the shop, and the development.
That is absolutely amazing. I'm gonna post the. I'm gonna put that link in the show notes for the listeners.
Nice.
And as well, also what we're gonna do is that Frederico has offered the listeners a link that we're also going to put in the show notes. Okay, that gives people a discount to sign up to Satoshi Games.
Yeah, is a link that basically gives you a discount for the pre-order of the Light Night game. Yeah.
That's fantastic, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you.
And I really hope I really love what you guys are doing, and I really wish you a lot of success in this. I think it's going to be huge, and I think you just got to stick to it and persist, and I think it's going to be massive, because
Thank you very much.
yeah, because people do want this. So
Yeah, I see the community is very excited, and yeah, people are amazed about the idea of being able to earn something on a skills based game.
oh yeah,
And so yeah, it's something new, and people are starting perceiving this change from a linear economy in the gaming industry to a more circular economy where they can be rewarded if they are good.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, why shouldn't you? You know what I mean? Why shouldn't you be able to carry your value across across games?
Exactly.
You know, like it's absolutely fantastic. And then all of a sudden, it just creates, like you said, a completely circular ecosystem.
Yeah.
So it's really amazing. So I guess I know that Lightnite is in development. Do you guys have any other projects that that you can share with the listeners? Some ideas that you guys are looking into in the future, or are you still like 100% Lightnite and we're not looking past that just yet?
Uh, no, well, we have Satoshi's Games, which is a website and is called Satoshis.games, and where you find some games like, for example, Pac-Man, and you can earn Bitcoin by playing for free once per day Pac-Man and try to collect all the Satoshis you can in one match. And
Oh,
so
that's
just
cool.
you didn't try it?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I
then
didn't.
you
I'm
have to
super
try
sorry. I
it.
am gonna try it. I went to the website to check it out just so
Uh-huh.
I can just so I could be more familiar
Yeah.
with your material.
Yeah. So it's already possible to earn Bitcoin playing games at Satoshis.games, and that is a simple website that was our first MVP to demonstrate that people actually want this. And as we got thousands and thousands of users, then we said, okay, then let's build a game which is more complex, and also, well, also the fact is that with our first MVP, which is Satoshis.games, we got funded because we demonstrated that there was value in what we were doing, um, and so we could build something more complex. We hired more people, and we have a bigger team now, and so we started building this more complex game, which is a battle royale. So it was also more trendy, and uh, and yeah. So
I
this.
think I think it's gonna do very well. I really do. It's super cool. Um, do you have any final thoughts for the listeners?
Uh, no, I would say visit lightnight.io, and so you get to know what's Lightnight, and then also have a look at the blog for all the updates about the game and the development process, and follow us on every social media, so you can also get support on Telegram, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We are everywhere, and yeah, if you see the game and you think it's interesting, you can get the 20% discount from the link attached to this video.
Very cool, man. Thank you so much. Yeah. So Frederico, I really appreciate it. And like he just said, we're gonna have we're gonna have a discount link in the show notes for people who are interested in playing the game, or even if you just want to also head over to the website and check out some of their free games as well. Um,
Yep.
thank you again, man.
Was a pleasure.
Really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
I hope you guys enjoyed my conversation with Frederico. I'm going to post links in the show notes for his, obviously his contact information and to the Lightnite game as well as Satoshi Games. And of course, if you guys want to reach me by Telegram or Twitter, I'm at Coinicarus. If you want to shoot me an email, it is coinicarus@funwithbitcoin.com. Catch you all next time. Thanks for listening.